Okie dokie. In this video, I'm taking a look at using graphical user interfaces like Cypress, Puppeteer, QA Wolf, Chromium headless in Windows Subsystem Linux 2. This is something which I've come across in the past, and I've just tried to get them working, but never had a great deal of success until I stumbled upon this great post from Nikki Muehlman, which details it. It goes into great detail on doing that. And this video is just me jacking this information from here. I've also made my own post on it, which is for my own purposes because I quite regularly trash my WSL instances, and this is a good sort of boilerplate to get me started again. So if you haven't got WSL installed and set up on your Windows machine already, then I suggest taking a look at this post from Nikki again. I did my own, excuse me, back in the summer. Which doesn't have pictures and it's a bit more opinionated for what I wanted to do, but this has pretty much changed as well, because I think in here I'll go through doing a lot of stuff with fish shell and setting up like SSH, which involved like sim linking and stuff, and I found out I don't really need to do that now with WSL2. I'm going to come on to that, but first up, I need to do this with a WSL install. So you can get WSL from the Microsoft Store. So if you just go to the store and look for Debian, search Debian, and you can download it. I've literally just reset it. I've already got it installed, but this is at the point now where it would be as if you just downloaded it yourself. So I'm going to open up the Debian app from my Windows Start menu, and you'll see it says it's initializing. It may take a few minutes, and then it'll prompt me for my user details. So I'm just going to have Scott, add a super secret password, and that's it, it's done. But this is WSL 1, and I wanted to do it to WSL 2, so I need a PowerShell prompt for this. So if I do Windows key X, that's the shortcut to open up this window here, and then I can open up admin level PowerShell prompt, and I want to use the WSL tool they've got in here, and this lists out all of the installed WSL instances I have. I have a few, but we'll notice that Debian here is running on V1, and I need to change that to V2. So you do that with set version, and then just put the version for Debian to 2. Hit enter, and that will do its thing. And now I don't need to use the Debian, whatever this is, this sort of CLI. It's not nice. I can use the Windows one, and my Windows one at the moment, it defaults to Ubuntu 20.04. So I'm going to open up Debian, this little arrow here. So this is it. I'm in Debian. You can check the version with, how can we check the version? This one here, cat etc issue, and then that will tell you the version you're on. So this is Linux 10, whatever that means. Cool. So there's a load of things I need to do. I've already set the version here to WSL2. This gives us some nice WSL2 features, like faster file read and write speeds. I'll come on to that in a bit, but really all I need to do first of all is just update all the things. Let's copy that. I'm just doing this for speed rather than you know, to make it look nice for a YouTube video. So this is just updating everything, upgrading anything if it needs upgrading, and then auto removing anything if the package is then redundant. This Y flag means that you get prompted, so you won't get prompted to install stuff. If I just do it like that, you get the need to input your password. So I didn't put a Y on update because I don't think it needs one. But then here it says like 15 packages need to be upgraded, none newly installed, none removed. Do you want to continue, yes or no? I'm just going to hit Control C at the moment. And you'll notice down here, I've got my keyboard shortcuts. It's a tool called Karnak. But yeah, the -Y just means you're not prompted to do that, and it'll just go off and install all the things for you. So while that is happening, I'm just going to refer back to the notes. Right, so there's a couple of other things. There's Build Essential, which I'll link as well. I think I've got it linked in here. Here we go, Build Essential. It's just utilities and tools you need. But also I need Git and curl, which I thought came with Build Essential, but they don't. So I'm going to install those too, get those installed. And again, it's quite a few bits there. So while that's waiting to do its thing, I want to install OMI ZSH and OMI ZSH. So again, this is just another install from the sudo apt repository, I guess it is, or library. So I'm going to install that, but I'm also going to install OMI ZSH. So I can set this default here, and then doing OMI ZSH will prompt me as well to set it to the default user. So let's just go back here, see how this is doing. Might have to wait for this to finish doing its thing. There you go, that was quite quick. So ZSH, and I want to set this as the default shell, so CHSH change shell, I believe, and then we're going to say ZSH. So this bit here I think is just getting, so if we just do which ZSH here, it will say where it is. So that's what we're doing with that, and enter the password again. And then finally, this is straight from the OMI ZSH documentation. Paste it in, you get a nice little warning there with Windows Terminal. And then this is going to change my default shell, so yes. Password one last time, and then now I'm in OMI ZSH. So this we can edit with the ZSH RC file, and then you've got lots of config you can play about with here. But for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to let, well, might just change the ZSH theme to Agnosta. It's quite a nice theme. There's plenty of other themes you can get from both, which come packaged with OMI ZSH, but then there's other ones, like additional ones you can install as well. I've made a post on that, which I will also put in the description. Lots of links in the description today. So I'm just going to write this out, Control O, hit enter to confirm, and then Control X. And then if I source the nano, the ZSH file, if I can actually spell source, I'll get my nice new theme here. Okay, enough of that. We're not here to look at nice shells. We are here to do stuff with GUIs. So I'm going to install NVM, which is this again. This NVM install here, I would say it's directly from the NVM install, but this one has Bash, and I want to install it for ZSH. So this this config here, if you do it with Bash, that'll get put into your Bash file. I'm doing it with ZSH, so let's paste this, and you see I've got ZSH at the end here. I'll pop open the ZSH RC file again at the end of it, and we'll see that config has been added to there rather than my Bash RC file. Let's get a drink of water, hang on. And this seems to be taking its time for some reason. Oh no, it's not. I scrolled off. Right, so let's just check out the nano file again. Yeah, you see that config's been, those variables being put in here. Exit out of there. Right, what's up next? Let's go to here. All right, so now we've got NVM installed. Did I source the nano? Yeah, so there's command v nvm. This is just to confirm it's installed. It's not. So let's just source the SSH file again, try that command again, nvm. Right, so I want to install 14 at the moment. If you just say nvm install, install node, I think that's the instructions. Where is it? nvm. Oh. It'll just install it at 15, but I want to do it for 14 because I think there were some issues I had with 15 on some of the projects I was using. So I'm just setting it to 14 for now, which is the LTS, I think. I think 15 is like the next version. So if you want to change it though, so at a later date, once Node gets updated, you see the default here is at 14. If you want to change it to, I don't know, 10, say, you can do it with that, but you need to do nvm install 10 first of all. Cool. Moving on. Right, yarn. Again, the project I'm going to demonstrate it with uses yarn. You don't have to install yarn. I prefer it at the moment, but you don't have to use it. So let's just go through this. Another update, and then we're going to update. We're going to install yarn. Yes, paste it. So with Debian, I haven't encountered this with either with Ubuntu yet, but with Debian, there may be some issues with yarn further down the line. We'll come on to that if we need to. Right, so also notice the starting directory here is spank, which is my Windows username, and this is starting on the C drive. This is coming onto the thing where I mentioned about the Windows file system, Linux file system, they're different. So running, it's quite easy to like just git clone a project here where you start. You presume it would be your home folder, but it's not. So let's change that to tilde, and then this is now my home folder. But if I do pwd, I want to make make dir for repos, which is how I usually have my projects structured, and then I want to change this each time we start up. So I'm just going to do that with SSH again, right down at the bottom here, and set default folder location cd tilde, which is home / repos, and then write this out, close that, and then if I source the nano file again, sorry, the ZSH file, and then if I open up a new terminal now, it should default me to repos. There you go. Cool. Brilsies. Right, what next? Starting directory, done that. SSH keys. Right, so if you look at my previous posts, there was a lot of me messing about with sim linking my SSH keys, because I trash my Linux instances so often. It's just become a bit of a chore having to recreate the SSH keys on GitHub and such. So what I've done is just done them once. I keep them in a separate location, and then I'll copy them over to my Linux instance each time I want to do it. So this is quite cool with WSL2. You can now use this explorer.exe, and that didn't work, so let's try a new terminal. It does this sometimes, I don't know why. There we go. Right, so this is the repos folder. I want to go to my home folder, and I want to take my SSH and git config file I have. I'm just going to copy those from the other location over to here. Right, and because I keep them on a Windows file system, and I've copied them over to a, copied them over to a Linux file system, I need to set the permissions on them. So I'm going to do that with some chmod, which is just the permissions, but I'm going to need to change to the SSH folder first of all, and then just run these. So the public key, put in my password, for the actual key, and then for the known hosts, and then I want to come out of here and then do it on the actual SSH folder. And let's make this a bit bigger actually. Like that. Cool. Sorry if you've had to look at that, if you were squinting at it. Apologies. Right, and now I should be able to authenticate with GitHub. Cool. So now I can just SSH this project, which I'm going to do very shortly. MDX embed, very good project. Right, so I could just go and clone this, which I think I should actually while we're doing other things. So let's just copy this SSH here and then change to repos and then git clone that. And then I'm going to yarn install this while we also yarn install some other things, while we also sudo apt install some other things. So I'll change into this MDX embed, see if I can just yarn install. Right, so this is the error I was talking about. So I've had mixed success with this. Sometimes doing like the install directly from like the yarn install. Yarn install. So let's put that. And we want it for Debian. So those instructions are pretty much just this. Let's just try this again. Paste. Okay, this. Copy that. Put that in there. Yes. Okay, and then try this again. And let's put -y. Let's do okay all. Wait for that to do its thing. And then try yarn again. Right, so I'll update my documentation to that because that looked incorrect. But I did come across that before, and I did find it in yarn error. There's no scenarios for this, and what I should have done just to demonstrate it was checked the yarn version, and it did come out at this. But me just running through those commands again updated it. But you can do this here, which is remove this CMD test, and that seemed to fix it. But actually following the official instructions seemed to do it as well. So with that being said, excuse me, I am going to install these libraries here, which are needed for GUI apps. So I'm going to do it in a new window while this is installing. So another Debian window here, and just paste those in. And notice again, I've got the -y, so it's just going to go and install them without prompting me for what to do with them. Right, so this is where you need to set the display for the X server. So I should have mentioned an X server, but I didn't mention an X server. So let's close that. Close that, and go to the Windows Store. And I use something called X410. No, this is it here. I think I've got this on offer. It's a paid app. I think it's about £4, £4 or £5. I don't know why it's saying 33, 35 there. I didn't get it for that price. But you can also use what Nikki suggests here, which is VC Xserve, which is free. You can get it from SourceForge. Yeah, I'm actually hovering over the link, SourceForge, and install that. So follow Nikki's documentation if you don't have X410. So that is running in the background, and this has finished installing those dependencies. We're still waiting for Cypress and all that stuff to install on that repository. Let's go back to my guide. All right, we need to set a display here for the X server. So again, just gonna copy paste this into my SSH file. So I've done this in the past, and this display thing, this is the right sort of way to do it, I presume, because I just set it as 00 for the display, and it never went right. So let's just get those added into the SSH file here, and control, but yes, we're going to paste it in. So setting a display variable, let's write it out, close that, and there is also right, so we can just check that the display now is set after I source the nano file. So I'm using like the up and down keys here to bring back the history, which is pretty neat. What do I do? Oh yeah, I want to check the display. So there we go. That's the IP of the Linux, the WSL instance. Okay, so yeah, we need to start this dbus, which the dbus is Nicky's notes again. Dbus is just used by GUIs, graphical user interfaces, in Linux. But I need to set that to automatically start each time. So, oops, I need to nano SSH file, and again, another config down here. Yes, we're going to paste it in there. So, and there's one last bit to this. Going to write this out. Enter to confirm. Close that. There's one last bit. I need to add this, my name, to the sudoers for dbus. So this is just going to open up a text file, and I'm going to add this into it. So if you're following along, then you need to add your username in. My username is Scott. So I'm going to write this out, confirm, close, and that should be it. So I've already cloned the repo with Cypress running, and I should just be able to run Cypress test now. Now I've cloned it. Let's see if it's finished. Wow, it's still doing its thing. So I was going to wait for this to finish running, and then, right, there we go. So yarn side test. So right, just a quick way to check what scripts you have available. npm run, and that will list the available scripts. But we're using yarn, so it's going to put yarn side test here, which is what we do for the end-to-end tests. And then this will pop open a window on my other screen, which I'm just going to drag over. When it pops it open, which it hasn't done yet. Right, maybe I need to install this again with the libraries in. I really hope not. Let's just try this. Yarn. Got to the big reveal and it just died. Oh, you know why? I bet you. Oops. Okay, so that has popped up on the other screens because I hadn't sourced the ZSHRC file, so my bad. So now I can run GUIs on my Linux. There we go. That's all the end-to-end tests for MDX embed. So that's it. Like I said, I'll document all of the links I've just been through here in the video description. If you found it useful, please remember to like the video. And please remember to subscribe to get more content from me in the future. But for now, that's it for this one. Thank you. Bye bye.